statements made in the appendix. Statements made to the Founding Fathers. They say these Founding Fathers were deists. A deist is someone who believes there is a God who maybe created it all, but he doesn't enter into human existence. He just made it all and took off. That's a deist. Also, they were marginal believers, what they said. I want you to read one with me real quick. Benjamin Franklin's second statement. That's on the last page, the top of the last page. It says, "We have been assured, sir, in the sacred writings, that except the Lord build this house, they labor in vain who build it. I firmly believe this, and I also believe that without his concurring aid, we shall succeed in this," I don't have my glasses, political building no better than the builders of Babel. You can read the rest of it, but he references the Old Testament, the Tower of Babel. He references a statement in the New Testament, "Unless the Lord build this house, build it in vain." He was a Christian. He believed in Christianity. I know he was probably a scoundrel in some ways, if you read history, but he still knew that the country was founded on Christian beliefs in God. So their claims that they were marginal Christians that don't know the water. So there's all kinds of quotes, you can read those, and this is just a sampling. There's so much history about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and all these other leaders of our country, our founders, that just tell you, this is how America was founded. All right, second law of thermodynamics. I don't want to get detailed about this, but here's our whole point. Because the world, the earth, is not a closed system, because it gets energy from the sun, then all this evolution can take place, because it doesn't violate the second law of thermodynamics. But you know what is a closed system? The universe. Okay, so how did the universe get organized the way it is, and in all its glory? If the second law of thermodynamics is true, it wouldn't have happened. It couldn't have happened. It would go from order to chaos. So they just conveniently leave out the fact that their whole story falls apart because the universe is a closed system. And evolution theory definitely violates the second law of thermodynamics. And the last one, Adolf Hitler was an atheist. That's what we claim. Hitler was raised Roman Catholic, no argument. He spoke about the creator of the universe when he said that he had a mandate from God to save the Aryan race and to get rid of all the inferior races. So he said he is the creator's person to do this. And that's not exactly what you would call a Christian statement. Hitler, and the rest of the quotes from Adolf Hitler's journal, which is in the appendix also, you read those, you see that Hitler hated Christianity. He thought Christianity was the worst thing that ever happened to the world. He thought that Christians were stupid. He called it the great pox on the world was Christianity. And that was the reason for all the problems that were during his time, Christianity. So this guy who did this video, he obviously was not, well, he was selective in what he wanted to say, obviously. I'll talk about some other people that were atheists. How about Joseph Stalin? Between him and Hitler, during and right after the Second World War, they murdered 91 million people. How about Mao Zedong, murdered 65 million people? These are all atheists, devout atheists. Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood, in the time since abortion's been legal, 50 million per year in 50 years, that's about 1 to 2 billion worldwide babies have been murdered. And she was a devout atheist. So they can talk about Hitler all they want. None of those people were Christians. And they did it in the name of their ideology. That is, the ideology of atheism. That takes care of that. And what I'd like to do now is go to the other PowerPoint. We'll talk about fine-tuning the universe real quickly, and we'll have time to finish up. Okay, remember when we talked about the fine-tuning universe, and I showed you 12 scientists or philosophers who made a statement about it. This guy, John Lennox, Christian, he's a mathematician, PhD in mathematics. This is William Dembski, PhD in mathematics, and he's someone who believes in intelligent design, but he's a very learned man. Stephen Meyer's written all kinds of books about it, Signature in the Cell, Darwin's Doubt, and he is a PhD in science history and in biology. He says that the universe is fine-tuned. Lee Strobel, he was actually a lawyer and a journalist, that his wife became a Christian, and he thought there was nothing to it, so he started investigating and found that it was true. This is Stephen Hawking, very famous quadriplegic that writes all kinds of books. He says that fine-tuning is true. Sir Fred Hoyle, physicist and chemist, he's an Englishman. He's the one that gave the name Big Bang to Big Bang because he thought it was funny. George Ellis, still another atheist, believes in the fine-tuning universe. Paul Davies, famous agnostic, believes in the universe was fine-tuned for life. Robert Jastrow, who was part of NASA, he had a famous statement about the scientists that have worked all their lives, and the analogy was they were climbing a mountain, the mountain of knowledge. And right when he crawls over the last boulder of the mountain of knowledge, he sees theologians that have been there for centuries. Now, Robert Jastrow said that story, that he's not a Christian, he's not a believer, he's an agnostic. But he says, I look at the universe and I see that the Bible has got the best story that fits the evidence.